Hello friends, welcome to my channel, Quiz and Storyline. Today we are discussing a story involving a cruel individual who takes a child hostage on a school bus. However, at that moment, a soldier named Park attempts to take aim at him with a sniper rifle. The hostage taker is constantly on the move, making it difficult to get a clear shot. Ultimately, Park manages to shoot him in the head and rescues the child, while the other soldiers look on. Following this incident, an officer conducts an interrogation in a separate room, asking Park various questions such as his name, age, and whether he has a girlfriend. Park cleverly answers each question, claiming he is 409 years old. He also states that he doesn't have a girlfriend but expresses love for the officer. The officer tests Park's statements on a lie detector. They discover that Park is lying, but he speaks with such confidence that the machine believes him. The officer realizes that Park is no ordinary person. He explains that there are three types of secret agents in South Korea: white agents, who operate under their real names in public, black agents, who work undercover, and ghost agents, who complete missions under fake identities. The officer intends to recruit Park as an international ghost agent and advises him to trust no one. Park replies that he doesn't even trust himself, so why should he trust others? In the next scene, Park's name and identity are changed, and he is sent on various missions to Italy and Germany. For his next mission, he is tasked with gathering information on a 65-year-old named Liberty, who is the chairman of GB Construction. To reach Liberty, Park first approaches his 21-year-old daughter, Anna, under the guise of a university professor. In their first meeting, Anna is so impressed by Park that she soon becomes his girlfriend and invites him to her home to meet her father. Her father quickly senses that Park is no ordinary person, and he collaborates with the government to have Park sent to jail. In prison, the Russian inmates try to intimidate him, but they hold no weight against Park's fighting skills. Eventually, the inmates become friends with him, and they all devise a plan to escape from prison. After planning, they successfully manage to flee from jail. Later, Park states that in any undercover mission, the way the work is done is more important than the work itself. Women's sympathy is more valuable than a bulletproof jacket, but if they are deceived by their beloved, their anger can be more dangerous than a time bomb. For this reason, Park wishes to disappear from Anna's life in such a way that she never attempts to find him. One day, Park calls Anna to meet him at a location. Anna is across the street while Park is in his car on the other side. He intentionally causes his car to explode in front of Anna's eyes, leading her to believe that Park has died, although he actually escapes. This was a tactic to rid himself of Anna. Later, we are introduced to a supervillain named Scorpio, who wreaks havoc in the city. No one is able to stop him. He uses his superpower to blow everything into the air and sets vehicles on fire. However, we soon realize that this is not a real event but rather a trailer for a Hollywood film. In this film, Korean star James has been cast, making him the first Korean star to work in such a significant Hollywood movie. James enjoys considerable popularity in Korea, and he attributes his success to his manager Bella, who happily dances in secret. James's PA makes numerous attempts to wake him because there is a film shoot scheduled, and if he doesn't get up on time, they will be late for the shoot. Eventually, James wakes up, and breakfast is brought to him. When James discovers that his favorite coffee is not from Chungro but rather from a local branch, he becomes angry and insists that he will only drink coffee from Chungro. His PA tries to persuade him to manage with that coffee for the day, but James refuses to agree. He tells his PA that if he doesn't have breakfast, his blood pressure will drop, and if he collapses during the shoot, it will cause further delays. James delays leaving for his film shoot, and when he finally arrives, he places all the blame on his PA. He claims that the PA got lost in the city, which is why they were late. The PA thinks about what a strange person he is working with. During the shoot, James performs an impressive fight scene. Meanwhile, a new character named Sam is introduced. Sam's father was a politician who recently passed away. Instead of enrolling his son in a private school, Sam sent him to a public school, which attracts media attention, and they come to interview him, praising him highly. Sam's wife, ZB, a former Miss Korea, knows how to handle the media well. She hugs Sam and smiles, assuring him that everything will be all right. That night, Sam invites an elderly politician for tea and discusses stepping down from the election as Sam is running for office himself. However, when the politician refuses, Sam shows him a briefcase full of money, offering a bribe and threatening that if he does not back down, he could take his son's life. The politician, frightened, accepts the bribe. But Sam secretly films the meeting with hidden cameras and blackmails the politician to force him out of the election. Now the story returns to Park. He is at a bar when a girl in a black dress approaches him, showing him a number. When he lifts his bottle, he sees the same number. The same number is also written on his hotel window. Suddenly, a man arrives under the guise of room service, delivering an app and stating that their agent, June, has gone missing. In his last message, he wrote Container 8S752, and they find out that it is at the house of a Russian chairman named Victor, but no one knows its location. Meanwhile, a romantic scene is being shot with James, where he is supposed to kiss his wife. However, James opts to use a body double instead of doing the kiss himself, leaving the shooting team astonished. James explains that he has never kissed on screen before and will not do so in the future. After the shoot, an actress meets James and says she understands why he didn't kiss her. She suggests that perhaps James is not interested in girls. In response, James immediately kisses her and clarifies that he only avoids kissing on screen. Later, he takes her to his car, creating a romantic atmosphere, but just then, his manager Bella calls him. She asks where James is, and he lies, saying that he is talking to the director. Soon, James begins to feel anxious because he has told a lie. Suddenly, their car starts to lift off the ground, and it turns out that Bella is behind it all, trying to teach James a lesson about his infidelity. She scolds James and tells him that he should be content with the love of his fans and that he doesn't need to look at other women. The next day, James receives an invitation to a party where an affluent chairman, Victor, will also be present. Initially, James shows no interest in attending, but when he learns that the chairman is willing to invest in a Hollywood film, he immediately agrees to go. Park is watching this meeting closely and snaps a picture of James, which Bella notices. She snatches the camera from Park and deletes all the photos. Next, Park pulls James out of the car and rushes him to a nearby underground subway station. From there, he takes James by metro to the film shoot location. James does not appreciate this because he feels that there are too many people who will recognize him. However, in reality, people are busy with their own activities and pay no attention to James. This feels insulting to him, so he starts running in the park to draw everyone's attention. As a result, people recognize him and come over for autographs and photos, which makes James happy. When Bella arrives at the shooting location, she scolds Park for bringing James to a public place. She asks if he knows what problems this could cause. However, Park reassures Bella that he did all this for James's benefit. In fact, when people posted pictures with James on social media from the subway, James began trending. Achieving trending status usually requires a lot of effort, but here, James became famous for free thanks to Park. In this joy, James wants to eat chicken today, but Bella stops him, saying that he is still on a diet and cannot have such food. Therefore, James sneaks out at night to eat chicken. When he is about to eat, Bella arrives and attacks him, causing James to run away with a piece of food. They keep running back and forth on an empty road. Park grabs James's hand and pulls him into a narrow alley to protect him from Bella, as that is the job of a bodyguard. During this time, James jokingly asks Park to let him have one bite. Park agrees, but James tries to take a huge piece as if he would eat the entire thing in one bite. Park stops him just as Bella catches both of them in the act. James starts trembling with fear, but then he notices that Bella has twisted her ankle while running. James apologizes and lifts her onto his shoulder to take her home. At this moment, Bella's anger melts away. On the other hand, Congressman Kim is looking for Coburg and has tasked one of his agents with finding him. Sim discovers that his wife, Tisa, was James's ex-girlfriend and that she still has feelings for him. Tisa repeatedly watches James's films, which makes Sim very uncomfortable. Because of this, Sim plots to harm James and instructs one of his men to tamper with James's car. The next day, Park sees a stranger doing something to James's car. At that moment, James gets into his car because he has to perform an action scene in that very vehicle. Park senses something is off, but Bella distracts him with her words. Suddenly, James reports over the walkie-talkie that the handle and brake of his car are both malfunctioning. Park immediately rushes to save James with a police car that is parked nearby, and Bella sits beside him. James feels that death is near and desperately tries to control the car, but the road is ending. Park moves his car forward and crashes into James's vehicle, bringing it to a halt, causing James to lose consciousness. Park's car comes to a stop right at the edge of a ravine, but fortunately, it does not fall. Park breaks the window and gets out to check James's pulse. An ambulance arrives, and James is immediately taken to the hospital. Bella feels faint due to the accident, and Park reassures her that everything will be all right. When Sim hears about James's accident, he tells his wife, Tisa, that her production company was supposed to cast James for the next film, but now that he has had an accident, What will she do? Teeza replies that they will bring in another big actor. However, when she is alone, she calls James's team to inquire about his well-being. In the hospital, James remembers an old incident when he had a similar car accident and discovered that his beloved, Teeza, had become engaged to Sim. At that moment, James's heart was shattered. Later, while James was hospitalized, he learned from the news that Teeza had become engaged to Sim, which further broke James's heart. He even called Teeza, but she was determined to marry Sim and insisted on ending her relationship with James. Recently, when James returned home after recovering from the hospital, he told his team member that he had thought a lot about what is most essential in life during his hospital stay, and he realized that the most important thing is his own life. Only then will he be able to do everything else. James then tells his team to always keep Park with him, treating him the same way they treat him. Although James had completely recovered, when the team asked him to return to work, he made an excuse that he was feeling dizzy and went to sleep. When the director asked him to come back to work, James replied that he still needed more rest. He added that if the director wanted, he could wait, or he could consider another actor. Then Park learned that James was also rejecting the invitation to Russia. This worried Park because he wanted to go to Russia with James. Meanwhile, an officer from the NIS, who was a friend of Teeza, informed Park that James's accident was not just a coincidence, but rather a deliberate conspiracy. They had investigated the guy who tampered with James's car, but they couldn't find anything. That guy disappeared as if he were a ghost agent. After that, Park explains the situation to James, and James agrees to go to Russia. In the next scene, they find themselves in Russia. For the party, Bella wears a beautiful white dress. Park is amazed when he sees her. James also praises Bella's beauty. The three of them get into the car sent by Victor and are allowed inside after a thorough check. Park successfully manages to sneak in a small hidden camera around his neck, allowing the NIS officers to monitor all activities at the party. Many important personalities are present, including Teeza and her husband, Sim. Seeing Teeza makes James a bit melancholic. Shortly after, Chairman Victor arrives at the party and greets James warmly because he is a big fan of James. While they are chatting, Park recalls his plan. The birthday song will last 4 minutes, during which the lights will go out. During this time, Park has to steal a rare wooden statue from Victor's secret room. However, Victor wants to show James his secret room, where he has kept items related to James. James refuses to go alone and insists that his bodyguard, Park, will accompany him. He is not just my protector but also my companion who saved my life. You must allow him to enter as well. After some thought, Victor agrees. Then Victor, along with a few of his men, goes to the secret room with James and Park. Park's gaze falls on a small wooden statue there. At that moment, the lights go out, causing everyone to panic. I request you to please help me reach 10,000 subscribers on my channel soon. We hope you all will enjoy this video and that you will like it. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much for your loving comments, and see you in the next video.